You have to go out there and do stuff. Go out there, knock doors, make calls. Here's the problem when you lose momentum. That listing ended up not selling. The seller changed their mind last minute. Instead of keeping that momentum alive, not only did they put all of their eggs in this basket, they stopped doing all the things that allowed them to win. Waiting around is a very, very, very bad option in this market. And I need you to pick a pony, and I need you to stick with it for 6 months so that you give yourself enough runway to learn how to master the skill, because you will take over your market. The power of momentum, right? We all know that in order to get a ball rolling takes a tremendous amount of work, right? If you need to push a car, it takes a tremendous amount of force to push that car. But once that car starts moving, it becomes a lot easier. Well, what happens when that car stops again? Well, you have to push again, and it takes a lot of work. The challenge that I see with so many great people is that they get some success and they get busy. All the things that you did to get some success, you stopped when you had the success. So then you go back down, and it becomes like a roller coaster where you're going up and down, up and down, up and down consistently and constantly. So you have a great month followed by a bad month. You have a great month followed by 3 bad months. You have a great month followed by 2 bad months. You have a great month followed by 1 bad month. And that up and down, right? That up and down roller coaster. Think about the amount of stress it puts on your life. Think about the amount of stress it puts on family if you're not single, right? Maybe you don't share that with them so that you're now feeling alone. It's not a fun place to be. And the challenge is that when we get busy, right, we forget about the things that got us busy. We forget about the things that got us into flow and momentum, right? We stop making our calls. We stop saying happy birthday to everybody on Facebook. We stop saying congratulations to all the people on LinkedIn that are getting a job anniversary, a birthday, right? A new position. And we start going inwards on, oh my God, I have to do title and escrow and this and this and this and this and this. And because of that, your momentum goes down. And we all know it's easier to keep a ball moving than it is to start to get a ball to roll. Yet we allow ourselves, right? We allow ourselves to get bogged down. I was chatting with an agent a few months ago, and they've had their struggles, right? Like a lot of real estate agents have. A lot of people in this market have had their struggles or had their struggles. And they're not like a super high producing team. When they were solo agents, they're doing about a deal every 2 months each. So they're doing somewhere between like 8 to 12 deals a year, give or take, so anywhere between 8 to 12 deals a year combined. So, 1 a month. It wasn't like super high, but it was okay. They got together, and because they didn't have systems and flow, they went down. And what happened is, right, I remember taking a call, and I was talking to the client, and she says, "Oh, Vic, I can't take my coaching call right now." I'm like, "But it's been on your calendar for 3.5 weeks. Like, this is an important call to your future success. What is in your world right now causing you so much stress and chaos that you can't take this call?" She's like, "Oh my God, we have a listing that's coming up." I said, "Oh, that's awesome. Congratulations. When does it come up?" 3 weeks. 3 weeks. So for 3 weeks, she was stressed out about this listing. Now, I don't know. I listed a couple of houses in my day. I sold a couple of homes in my day. I don't know how much work it takes to get a listing ready, but I asked her, was there anything special about this property or any kind of special arrangements or anything like, nope. Just normal house. They got a little bit of cleanup, some yard work, some repairs. We got to get some staging in there, photography, videos, copy, brochures. Cool. I'm like, why are we 3 weeks ahead of schedule stressed out? Well, it's because she didn't have a process and she didn't know how to manage her momentum. So she got into momentum. They got a deal. Instead of keeping that momentum alive and riding the wave of success, she stops her prospecting, freaked out, lost all control. Here's the problem when you lose momentum. That listing ended up not selling. The seller changed their mind last minute, and they went from, I think it was a sale price of like 4.25 to 550. So not only did they put all of their eggs in this basket, they stopped doing all the things that allowed them to win. So here's what I'd love for you to do right now. I'd love you to go through your calendar, right? If your calendar is on Google, print it up, right? If your calendar, it's like a handwritten calendar, grab it. And I want you to grab last week, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. If you work Saturday and Sunday, include those. When you look at your calendar, I want you to get a green highlighter and a red. And I want you that everything that you did that was an income producing activity, I want you to highlight in green. Everything else in red is something that you did to service your already existing business. Let me break down what I mean by green. An income producing activity would be making your prospecting calls, door knocking, cold calls, following up with the leads that are already in your database. Following up with leads is different than prospecting. Prospecting is you going and finding new people to add to your database. Follow up is calling the people in your database. You could put an open house as an income producing activity, a new buyer's presentation, a new listing seller's presentation. You could put that down under income producing activity, all right? Showing homes to a buyer, that would be an income producing activity. Everything else, right? If you're making social media reels, now just remember, okay, the power of momentum. It takes time for the ball to start rolling. So you might create content for a long time, it feels like months, maybe even 6 months, maybe even 9 months before you see the income come back. So when it comes to social media, when it comes to making videos, reels, long form, things of that nature, be careful that we're not creating so much time blocks for that only that we're not doing anything that can create some opportunities now. What do you have more of in your calendar? Do you have more green or more red? If you're like most people that I've talked to, if you're like most agents, you have a lot more red than green. All right. Now we need to switch some of that around, right? You're going to need to switch some of that around, and you're going to need to become more consistent with your efforts for prospecting, right? Because 20% of the prospecting work gives us 80% of everything else. Yet we're so focused on the 80%, we neglect the 20%, and then we wonder why we don't have any deals. We wonder why we don't have any appointments. We wonder why we don't have any clients. We're just doing all this work, it feels like. So you need to make sure that you're consistently doing the activities that will produce the results you want, or you're going to be here wishing you were here all the time. That makes sense? All right, so that's number one. Number two is, what does your daily prospecting schedule look like? How many hours a day are you prospecting? Where do you prospect? Are you organized with your prospecting, right? Like if you're posting on social media, you have people that like your stories, you have people that have birthdays, you have job updates, right? You have all sorts of things going on all sorts of channels that you probably can't manage all alone. So where are you doing what activities? Maybe you have Mondays or LinkedIn, happy birthday, happy congratulations on your job, all that stuff. Tuesdays, maybe it's Facebook, right? And instead of just going through the one day, maybe you go 5 days ahead, 5 days behind, right? So, hey, I just wanted to wish you an early birthday just in case I miss it. Hey, I'm sorry I missed your birthday. It's actually better to post early or late because then people actually respond to you. Because if the person's somewhat popular, they might have hundreds of messages and then yours just gets lost. No opportunity for a two-way dialogue, no opportunity for a two-way conversation because your stuff got lost. The whole reason on being social media, right? Yeah, you want to share baby pictures and memes and whatever. The real reason why you should be on these platforms, if you're an entrepreneur, if you're in sales, if you're selling homes, is to connect with people, right? Get into the DM, have a conversation. So birthdays, it's a free way. Everybody has one once a year. It's a free way to get in contact with a lot of people in your database or in your social networks, right? So what are you doing to time block your day so that you're making sure that you have a minimum, right? 2021, you needed to do an hour of prospecting, 15 minutes of follow-up, and you're going to do 5, 6, 7, 8, 100 deals a year. Well, 2023, you might have to do 3 or 4 hours of prospecting, and you might just maintain what you did in 2021. We were talking with an awesome agent on the RE Agent podcast that Cody and I co-host. If you're not following us on the RE Agent podcast, some nuggets of gold there, baby. So Cody and I were jamming, and he talked about how this year he's going to go from 1,000 transactions last year to 900 this year, 10% drop. And he's super happy, super excited, super pumped. Why? Because if you look at the numbers, right, in his market, it's a negative 22% for most agents, right? The market has slowed down 22%. So he only lost 10%, which means he's up 12%. For him, that's a win. I think it's a win too. But do you know your market, right? Do you know your momentum stats? Do you even know what's available in your market to sell? What price points are moving, what's not, right? In markets like this, certain price points move, some don't, right? Do you know which price points are moving? Do you maybe need to switch your focus a little bit? I don't know. This is for you to do the research on. But if you lose the momentum, right, it becomes a lot harder to get back into flow. And the reason why I believe a lot of real estate agents who actually know what they're doing fail is because they lose that momentum. And then it's hard to push that car up the hill again. You get rusty. I forgot what to say. Oh, this person told me off. It becomes easy to go back to just saying, I'm busy. So if you're not doing the business you want, just go to your calendar. Just look at your calendar right now. If your calendar has a lot of red and not a lot of green last week, that tells you, look at your calendar this week. How much green do you have in there, right? How much green do you have in there? If you don't have a lot of green in your calendar, guess what? 30 days from now, you're going to be in the same boat you're in right now, wishing you had more clients, right? So these are the things that we work on inside of the Real Estate Sales Dojo. If you think that you might want a little bit more help, more personalized help, right? These are just little nuggets, right? We can't go deep on these 10, 15, 20, 30-minute calls. But if you really want to go deep on your scripting, if you want to go deep on your language patterns, if you want to go deep on your tonality and your cadence and your verbal cues and your pauses, right? If you want to really become an expert so that you can be the trusted advisor, so that you can use conscious communication and conscious listening, conscious question asking, conscious tonality, learn to read the body language of your prospect, and you want to see if this might be a good fit, do me a favor, just send me a DM, say agent, and I'll share with you the next steps of what it would be like to possibly work together. Anyways, get in momentum. It's Tuesday, which means we have plenty of time for this week. You can schedule open houses. You can get in front of expireds. You can door knock, right? But I need you to pick a pony. And I need you to stick with it for 6 months so that you give yourself enough runway to learn how to master the skill, right? I don't care if it's door knocking or expireds or social media, right? Or open houses. To me, which your source is cool. But I need you to pick one and stick with it for 6 months. If it were me and I was in this market, I would either pick door knocking, or I'd pick cold calling right now. I'd just master cold calling or I'd master door knocking, and I'd become the best at it, because you will take over your market if you become the dominant door knocker or the dominant cold caller. So pick one, pick a lane. You need listings. We all need listings. We need to bring more inventory to the market, right? As a real estate agent, it's your job to find the inventory, not to wait around for the inventory to show up and then complain that, oh, there's not enough houses. Oh, we have all these buyers. We don't have it. Find inventory, y'all. People want to move. They don't want to rent. Go out there, knock doors, make calls. You have to go out there and do stuff. Waiting around is a very, very, very bad option in this market. I don't know if you guys have read the news, but last week or 2 weeks ago, an article came out that said 60,000 agents have left real estate this year alone. 10,000+ agents are leaving every single month, if not more, because there is no money for them. But there's other people that are crushing it. They have the same leads, same market, same interest rates. What's the difference between where they're at and where you're at? What's the difference between why they're doing 3, 4, 5, 6 deals a month and you're doing 0.5, 0.3? A lot of agents I talk to don't even know. They just don't even know their numbers. They think they're at 6 deals for the year, and they go back and they look and they're at 2. It's a big discrepancy. Or they think they're at 4 and they're at 3 or 2. Big discrepancies, 20, 30, 40, 50, 80% difference, right? It's easy to get out of momentum if you think you're doing better. This all stacks on top of each other. This business of real estate, it's a stacking game, right? It starts with momentum though. When you're in momentum, when you're in flow, when you're doing the tasks every day that you know you need to do, yeah, the first 2 weeks are hard, but then they become a lot easier, right? Everything just starts flowing. You start booking appointments, you start going on presentations, you start picking up buyers, you start picking up listings. All of a sudden, 90 days from now, you have a huge pipeline, and it's because you took action today. I would pick one lane, I would pick one pony, And I would just do that every day, 2 hours a day. And I know it's tough and I know it's hard. If you want help, we work on this every day inside the Real Estate Sales Academy. We're constantly going over scripting. We're constantly going over tonality. We're constantly trying to figure out what's working, because every market's slightly different too. Price points are different. What's working, what's not working. People get to share. So do me a favor in the comments right now. Are you going to pick up door knocking or are you going to pick up cold calling for the next 6 months to find listings so that you can become the listing agent? You become the dominant agent in your market. Which one do you want to pick? Let's get a momentum. Let's look at our calendar. How much green, how much red? Anyways, talk to you soon. Hope this was super helpful for you. And hope you're kicking ass, taking names, and winning in your local market. Peace out.